Hi everyone, it's Mr. Banish, and in this podcast we're going to take a look at the last section of our chapter that's titled Predicting Weather. Meteorology has always been a difficult type of career because of the fact that you're dealing with an atmosphere and air masses and fronts and all of these different factors, and trying to make predictions about how the weather is going to be is sometimes difficult. And for the most part, they do a good job of letting us know that we're going to have sunny days or cloudy days or that it's going to rain, but sometimes they're off, and sometimes they're off by quite a bit, and people get a little bit frustrated with that. But overall, they do a pretty decent job of giving us the information that we need. And so in this section, we're going to take a look at the different instruments that meteorologists use, and we're also going to have a better understanding for how people make predictions for weather. To start with, we need to give a definition of meteorology. Meteorology, or a meteorologist, is a person that studies the weather and tries to make predictions for it. And a meteorologist in meteorology is the actual study of weather, and a meteorologist is a person who studies the weather and tries to make predictions. And so below, this is an image that was taken from the internet that shows us what a long range or 7-day forecast looks like. You get the days of the week. You get what the cloud cover is going to look like, if it's going to be sunny or cloudy or rainy. And it's also going to tell us the high temperature for the day and the overnight low. And so this is one example of what you would see if you were watching the news, weather, and sports. You would see that the weather provides us with this type of outlook. Meteorologists use different instruments to help them make predictions. For example, this is a weather balloon, and a weather balloon measures the temperature, the air pressure, and the humidity. And so what happens is that this balloon gets let go, and inside of here it has different types of gauges which are going to be able to give us information. Another type of instrument is computers. We're able to use computers to give us lots of information and to put lots of information into them, and it helps do a lot of calculations, and now you can do a lot of 3D images and other types of models to show us with this information. And a lot of these types of weather balloons have information that can be sent right to the computer, and so all of that data can be recorded right away. Another one is a weather station. A weather station is going to have measurements on the ground level. So up here you can see there's a anerometer, which is going to measure the wind speed. There's all kinds of different gauges that help to measure temperature. So somewhere on here there's a psychrometer, somewhere on here there's a thermometer, and so on. And this is all going to be able to give us information from the ground level. And probably one of the most important types of instruments are satellites. And satellites are going to get us images of storms, snow cover, clouds, temperature, humidity, solar radiation, and wind speed. And basically these satellites are up in our atmosphere, and they're basically taking pictures and getting images for us, so that way we can better understand what type of weather and information is going to be coming towards us. So these are examples of different instruments that meteorologists use. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at weather maps. They really have changed over the years. To start with, they used to have these types of maps, which you can still find, but these were maps that showed us information that told us like what the temperature was, what the atmospheric pressure was, where these air mass pockets are. Here's an high air mass pocket. And that translated into this information as well. So you could see that you had a circle that told us if it was going to be sunny or how much cloud cover there was going to be. It told us the temperature. There was basically wind speed was measured by having a line that had other lines coming off of it, the sea level pressure, the pressure that's outside, the dew point, and the weather as well. And all of this stuff evolved into a easier way to look at weather maps, which now we see in like newspapers or even if you look at like certain types of maps on weather.com. And on here it's going to have different colors that are going to be telling us what the temperature is. You can see there's a warm front here, a cold front here, low pressure, high pressure. And so a lot of information was sent like this. And nowadays it's even easier because with smartphones you can basically have an app on there that is going to tell you what the day is going to be, what the date's going to be, what the forecast, the high, the low, the precipitation. And you can even look at maps to be able to pull the stuff off. Two very important terms that you should be aware of. One is called an isobar. Isobars are lines that are joining places that have similar air pressure. And so when I was talking to you before about how this high pressure has an air mass that is this big right here, what it's really, what this line really is this is an example of an isobar. This isobar is lines that are joining together to basically show us where they have similar or same types of air pressure. And because of the fact that they have similar types of air pressure, we know that this is an example of an air mass. And another one is an isotherm. And those are lines that are joining places together that have the same temperature. Now you can't see the isobar lines on, or isotherm lines on this one, but they use color to differentiate the different isobars and isotherms. Okay, so for this one, this area that's in this blue is all going to be the same type of isotherm. And so all of this different color means that it is going to be similar temperatures. Just like all of the yellow is, there's a little bit of a darker yellow or an orangish color in here, so that means that that has a certain isotherm as well. So basically they're just lines that are connecting together to show us either the barometric pressure or air pressure, which is shown on this one, and the isotherms, where you can't see the lines but you can see the different colors showing up, that's an isotherm. And so those are two important concepts. Even though we've over the years gotten more and more equipment and better instruments to help make predictions, weather forecasting is still going to be limited. There is something that's known as the butterfly effect, which means that it has one time change and can lead to a change in the atmosphere, which can then lead to the weather for many weeks. So what happens is that just one small change, if the earth heats up a little bit more in one area, it's going to have a major effect on all kinds of the weather. And so that's why when you start to hear about global warming and climate change, people start to worry about how that's going to affect our weather. And so as we continue our study of weather, we can talk more and more about these things. But those are the notes for the last section of the chapter. So make sure you take time to fill out your reflection form. Don't forget to include the 4 reflection answers, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.